He's trying to come across and do something to help this man, but the Silencing Voices, that Yamcha comes in on the back. Miracle dropping lower and lower. There's so much damage. Gonna be able to keep the Tama man alive. They got the paralyzing cast on RTZ. They're blowing up a lot of these heroes. Samel, he's gonna end up going down here. A Miracle just slices him down.
Welcome to the grand final of ESL One Genting 2018. Are we ready for our final day, everyone? Let's meet your first team, your TI7 champions, Team Liquid. Making their way to the stage, Team Liquid. Ladies and gentlemen, stellar performance throughout the tournament. Will they be able to continue their amazing show? Team Liquid. Up next, why don't you cheer for them heading to the stage? We have Newbee! Ladies and gentlemen, you know in their heart of hearts, this is the opponent they wanted for the grand final. Will they be able to put up a different fight against the TI7 champions? Make some noise for Newbee! Now, let's let these two teams feel your energy. Let's get this started. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this started. Come on, get the claps going. The grand final for ESL One Genting 2018. Team Liquid versus Newbee.
Yep, that's right. We are ready for the grand final between two teams who met 168 days ago. We're going to do it all over again. Are we going to get the same result? And that is the big question that our panel members have to answer. We're back with Nahaz, with Fogged and Cap for your grand final panel. Nahaz, can anyone beat the steamroller right now that is Team Liquid?
Boy, it's going to be awfully hard. I have never seen in my years looking at Dota and even looking back, you just said it, almost 6 months since Liquid climbed to the top of that summit, won that TI title, and I mean, they just haven't missed a beat. These guys, we talk about certain teams with majors and minors. We talk about certain teams maybe taking events off. Liquid doesn't take a game off. If you're going to beat Liquid, you're going to earn it.
Yeah, and Fogged, you've been checking out the social media just to see whether there's any spice, and you found a little bit.
Just looking for it, yeah. Matu, of course, you know, coming out saying he's got many green heroes prepared, so
expect to see some win runner then?
Absolutely not. Just some
Good
Viper,
try, Paul. Good
Viper
try.
or Pugna. Some Earth Spirit too.
Yeah,
Put some
Medusa's
fear.
kind of green.
Hmm?
Medusa, kind of green.
Maybe, yeah,
Bit
could
green
be.
there, yeah.
No,
Could
not
be.
a
Not for him,
Matu
but,
so
you know,
much.
no, go on.
Miracle will be like, wait, have I played that one?
Well,
Nah,
maybe,
I'll play it. I haven't
he
played it
means-
here yet.
Maybe it means the whole team go green.
Could happen.
We've seen blue drafts before. Don't know if we've seen a green draft. Cap,
Yes.
can anyone beat this team? They've been in extraordinary form, haven't they?
I'm not sure Newbee can do it. Honestly, if I'm going to give my full analysis of the situation, I don't think Team Newbee is going to be strong enough. Liquid look, here's the thing, is that they've got some of the best players in every single one of their roles. They've got, in my mind, the best captain in the world right now.
Yeah.
They are just performing at a very high level. You know, like Team Liquid, they don't really hit or miss too often, you know, but you can definitely see that in this tournament, they're completely in the groove. I mean, come on, they wanted to shut out Evil Geniuses. They wanted to go through that entire game without losing a single hero. Like, just the fact that anybody could think about being able to do that is just crazy.
I mean, Kuro's drafting has been unbelievable this tournament. It's just getting better and better. This guy is terrifying.
Part of that, Alan, is surely that this team can play almost anything. I think they said that they hadn't played a Pugna before yesterday.
Now, it's really, particularly with GH, I mean, it's unfair. You're a guy that has IO, Keeper, and Earthshaker. You're among the most successful players that's ever played Pro Dota on those 3 heroes. Then all of a sudden, you come out in this patch and you go 12-1 on Earth Spirit, a hero that you barely touched. And that's the highest win percentage of any player-hero combination with 10 or more games in the patch. It's not fair. It's just not fair.
So basically, Ice Frog needs to nerf GH.
I don't know how you do it, but yeah.
If you look at it by role, right, we'll start with a 5 position. Kuro, best captain in the world. GH, best 4 position in the world, for my mind. Mind Control, top 3 offlaners. Miracle, top 3 carries. Matumba Man, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna say like he's absolutely best, but as a carry, like not sure if you call him the #1 in the world in that position, but I think he's the absolute best when it comes to the sacrificial carry role that he's fulfilling for Liquid. He absolutely looks the most comfortable on that team, somehow while dying and going like 0-8 because he's making the space for his team. He's willing to take that.
Yeah. Definitely the sum of all parts, aren't they?
I've got Miracle as my #1 carry. I've got Mind Control as my #1 #1 offlaner. So. I mean, and they switch around so much. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Do you have GH as your #1 supporter?
I do. He's my #1 as well. So it's like, these guys are absolute monsters. And it's not even just that. Like we're saying, they have so much different variety. It's like sometimes, oh, Miracle, you're going to play Timber, but we're going to play kind of like as a carry Timber thing. And then, oh, you know, what else do you want to play? We played 8 different heroes on you. Let's just keep switching it up.
Okay, let's move our attention across to their vanquished opponents from TI. They won't want to do that again, obviously, and don't want to do the same thing. Newbee have played well at this tournament, it has to be said. We had some doubts around them. They're a little bit inconsistent here and there. They've had some issues against Western teams, which they seem to have gotten over. And KP and Kaka have been absolutely MVP worthy so far too.
Yeah, they've been phenomenal. But the one thing I would say about them is that they're, in comparison, a little bit more predictable. They've been running very similar strategies majority of their games as well, while Liquid's been completely diversified. And I think that could be something that really harms them here. Yeah,
drafting is going to be a huge advantage for Liquid in this matchup, especially in a best-of-5. So I hope Newbee have really thought out what they want to do against Liquid, and ideally their first plan succeeds, because I'm not sure if they start falling back to plan B, they're going to be able to have a plan C.
Yeah, is that part of the problem, gents, isn't it? That, you know, if you've got a couple of different ways of playing, Liquid have got 15 ways of playing, and they can counter them from any of those.
No, I think the big thing that you point to about Kuro's drafts is that like any lineup can look good when it's playing from ahead. But Kuro has these drafts, there's always an insurance policy. There's always either we got better 5-man, or there's always we got this crazy split push that if they get behind at any point in the game, they still have an excellent chance to win. And that to me is what differentiates Liquid right now from anybody else.
Bob, you and I were talking about drafting. You actually had some theories about how Newbee would draft against Liquid.
Yeah, we were actually discussing it back there. We were pretty much convinced that they would ban the Chen, because that seems just to be something they're afraid to play against versus Liquid. The next one we were considering was, is it going to be that Earth Spirit ban? Or that Sand King, and they actually did. They actually took the Sand King.
I disagree with that. I really do.
And meanwhile, we were talking about Liquid. We were theorizing that Naga Siren would actually be a prevalent ban, just because it does seem to be one of the stronger Newbee heroes.
Yeah.
We also have to be afraid of the Wisp Tiny. They go ahead and ban out the Tiny, because I doubt Liquid's going to be playing the Wisp without it.
What were the ones we said for Liquid? We said Bounty, Tiny, and the third was
probably maybe Naga.
It's Naga,
right?
It was Naga. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Tiny is just this. It's something like this. These offlane DKs and these offlane Lycans, that he has that big strength and stacks early regen items with the magic wands and the swords. It all adds up.
Still targeting the
They've got to take the Razor out, so that's interesting. The Omni's in the pool, the Tusk is in the pool, and of course the signature Naga for Newbee. You'd imagine that'd be their first pick here.
Think they'll take it?
I mean, they're
probably like, do we take Naga or do we just take the Earth Spirit and deny it from Liquid?
I mean,
they
you just have to, right? Because we spent all this time talking.
It has to be. That's
we
what
spent all this time talking against Secret about, oh, they need to do something different, and they said, you know what? No, we're just going to do what we've been doing and just play better.
Did you see the faces of the Liquid players when that Naga went? They all went, Yep.
Yep.
That's what we thought. So they've got a plan.
Oh, of course, it's Kuro. I mean, of course, he's got a plan for anything.
He's got a plan for everything, but you know what I love? Is they probably would, like, they're definitely first picking Naga, but you don't see him snap pick. He's still taking his time.
Sure.
They use their time just to really theory craft as much as possible to decide what's best.
Well, because they're not just talking about heroes.
And they're
they're
not
talking
just-
about every phase of the game in the draft.
And they're also talking about, like, not just counters of direct heroes later on.
What?
Hello, Green Hero.
Are they trying to
Oh, my
out-sustain
goodness.
Newbee in teamfight? Like, if Newbee are just going to go for a whole bunch of teamfight, if we actually just tank
Yeah,
up on
you know why
Liquid,
this
we
is-
saw this sustain strategy.
The first
No,
time that Treant Protector has appeared in a draft, either pick or ban in the entire event.
Do you know why this is? This is because we've been saying that Newbee are the best teamfight planet on the planet. And Liquid are like, nope.
Okay.
So they do this similar. They're still sticking with this.
Yeah, no surprise with the Disruptor. It's such an excellent combination. Newbee have run it before.
Tusk Tree.
So the other thing that Naga happens when you pick this first two Naga is you force the other team to ban 4th, 5th, that Enigma.
Yes.
And maybe even that Tide. We've seen the Tide kind of been left low, but the Enigma is the big one.
Yeah, what's really crazy about Liquid with the Tusk, they haven't done it as much this patch, but Kuro actually plays a crazy good roaming Tusk as well as GH, and Kuro is able to apply a significant amount of pressure on that Tusk despite 0 farm priority.
But if they give up the Tidehunter here, if Liquid leave that out, they might just counter it with Timbersaw. Try and get themselves stronger lanes, just a big, beefy, tanky lineup.
I wonder if the Treant Protector is just to defend those towers early on
What's-
and just take it to later stage. Like you said, Liquid versus Newbee. Like Newbee in general, later stages of the game goes. Like Liquid has that advantage for the most part.
I mean, it's the same theory, though, that I've been espousing a couple of times here on the panel, that a lot of teams now are just stacking regen.
Stack that regen,
Because
yeah.
strength scaling with regen, you got these overlapping auras from Dom and Mech. You got regen coming in from skills. Every single source of HP regen in the game now scales with a hero's strengths. So you get, not only have these heroes that are like 1.7k, 2k HP, but they're getting 10, 12 regen a second during these pushes.
Surely one of these teams is going to take the Lycan, right? I mean, I know
That's
we've
what
got
we're thinking.
Ensnare and Kinetic Field on one side, and we've got the Entangle coming out from the tree on the other, but I still think Lycan is a strong enough hero to be warranted to pick up, even if it has the lockdown against it.
And I think that's what Newbee have to be talking about right here, because he doesn't necessarily fit as much what they've been doing lately, but Newbee are a Lycan team. Mugi's 5-1 with it in this patch, and then Matu's one of the best Lycan players ever.
Omni-Knight is a notable hero that's still out there as well that we haven't talked about, as well as, Viper.
They take out that Viper.
Yeah. I would like to see it like in Matu.
Oh, yes.
It's very hard versus Naga though. But yeah, I mean, it is one of his best heroes.
And at the end of the day, we've already seen how Evil Geniuses ran Lycan. They're willing to accept it being in a sacrificial role, right? Like they picked it up early, it gets countered. It doesn't matter because that's not their true carry.
That is a good point. Matu has been playing more of that, you know, sacrifice
It
though.
would kind
Exactly.
of fit into exactly the fear role that Evil Geniuses were doing with it.
I mean, any other team, I think you snap pick Lycan here, but Liquid, we know how they like to do things we don't expect. Oh, you just saw him hover over it. Hover over the Lycan.
They're baiting you.
Oh, I know it.
Just kidding.
That's like that first pick SD yesterday with Newbee. Was it Newbee yesterday or was it featured the other day? I can't remember. One of them was hovering over the SD literally the whole time.
Oh, I didn't remember.
The first
Oh,
one.
I remember seeing that. I still think that hero's underpicked, but
It was very popular in China for a little while, wasn't it?
Yep.
Hasn't been quite so popular recently.
you could also go for your offlaner here. Yeah, I think that was one of the big things that Liquid did yesterday is they just counterpicked the EG cores really heavily.
Yeah.
They just had really favorable core matchups. And you know Newbee's always going to
they're
last
doing
pick S-Troubles. You have to. 35-14 is Matuma all-time on his Lycan. Number 3 all-time in wins, behind only Arteezy in win rate.
I almost feel,
Unbelievable.
you know what I really like here too? I almost feel like this is all right, we're putting out Lycan, counterpick it. Counterpick it more, then we're going to switch it up, get Miracle on a hard carry.
See if they like try and pick up Tidehunter to go up against the Lycan sort of thing, right?
And the other thing about Matu's Lycan is that he's 7.3 kills a game on this hero. That is by far higher than any of the other players that have like 30+ games. He's not just a split pusher on this hero. He will get in your face and stay there.
And especially versus Disruptor. I feel like we beat that one to death, but Lycan running at you as a Disruptor, you're like, oh my god.
And they can still orient this into a really big push strategy that kind of forces Newbee into constantly using these sleep setups.
Yeah.
And eventually they're going to run out of time. So if we pick up, say, like a DK for Team Liquid, we've got almost an unstoppable sustain lineup that is just going to constantly be pressuring you. Newbee would be hard-pressed to be able to deal with that.
I like Dragon Knight. I do like it. I mean, all these HP regions, we're seeing it so often now, what they can do. Because you just can sustain through anything like this.
Fox and I are a little
Doesn't
biased.
matter.
We're a little biased right now towards Lycan. We just lost a game.
We just lost the game
We
miserably.
played a punt together, lost to a Lycan.
I like DK, but I think if you're picking that hero here, you're maintaining the option to play it in the off lane. Like I think you want SCCC on a big time explosive hero. All right, this is your Mugi hero.
I do not like Gyro versus Lycan.
We hammered this though.
We have, but here's the thing: people, Reddit in particular, right? They act like there's a consensus on everything in Dota.
Of course, yes.
This hero counters this hero. This is better than this. If you actually talk to pro players in a room, they have very different opinions on these hero matchups. I happen to agree. Arteezy said it in an interview on stage at Dream League Season 8 Finals that he thinks Lycan versus Gyrocopter is very favorable, but a lot of teams, obviously, VP keep picking it into Lycan. I mean, disagree.
Dota is not rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
We all know that. So it can be changed up.
Good choice.
Yeah, bad, and I like that a lot.
Because it's one of the, so if you look at like, say, Tidehunter, if you look at Omni Knight, those heroes are going to be pretty heavily countered by the Nagasar and Sleep into the control lockdown of the Disruptor Static Storm. They're going to focus on those heroes. Abaddon is a saving hero that doesn't care about that setup.
And what hero in the pool, if I'm Lycan right now, what hero left in the pool am I most worried about? Probably Batrider. Abaddon.
And Tide, well, Tide can also be a problem. And we've seen the Abaddon counter versus Tide. Ravage comes out, you pop ult, shield someone else. You really are incredibly good versus that. They actually go for taking the OD here.
Yeah, that's going to be an SCCC OD.
Yeah.
I really like that just as the damage potential. The Gyrocopter gives you a little bit of wave clear, a little bit, not a dedicated tower hitter necessarily in the Newbee lineup. Gyro can fill that role, but he needs some items in order to do so. That's going to be my big concern.
Is Liquid going for some 5-man melee lineup? They're banning Axe out.
Yeah. When Bat and Tide were both much better bans, you would have thought.
Man, they actually have 4 melee. 4 melee heroes, huh?
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible they pick up a 5th.
It is.
With this.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Ultimate team fight plays ultimate team fight.
Huskar ban.
Just in case.
Huh. It's a little unusual in that they don't have a save.
Snowball and armor are okay, and shield, right? They can add up. And with the new Miscoil, right, with the Talon and everything, it is a bit more.
There's your Tide. There's
They
your
picked
Tide.
Tide into the Abaddon too. Wow.
We knew this.
And the SF. Oh, baby.
Alrighty.
I mean, I think Liquid,
Man.
Liquid definitely read this draft really well.
I think so
And,
too.
like, if we're able to predict what Newbee's going to be picking up here, Liquid knew what was happening.
Ooh.
So, some big signature heroes for both teams in
Newbee.
our first draft. The three of you now need to separate that a little bit. That's a tough draft, Alan.
Look,
And the lanes are going to be weird.
this is going to be an unbelievable game. But I think Liquid read what Newbee were going to pick so well. I love their chances in this game.
Okay. So, Liquid for you?
Liquid.
All right. Fogged?
Can I go after Cap?
They've got the
Yeah, you can do the Blitz thing.
They've got the Tusk. They've got the Tusk SF. They've got the Abaddon versus the Tidehunter. I think Lycan is still one of the strongest heroes out there right now. Liquid for sure.
Okay.
I love the core matchups of Liquid. Lycan versus Gyro, Abaddon versus Tide, SF versus OD. I'm going for Liquid as well.
All right. Okay. 3 straight choices for Team Liquid. Not really a big surprise on our panel. Let's head into game number 1 with your grand final commentary team of OD Pixel and Blitz.
Thank you very much, Red Iron. Here we have, ladies and gentlemen, the grand final of ESL Genting, Newbee versus Liquid. You couldn't hope for a better matchup, and what a way to start it off in game 1 with this draft blitz. We have Newbee again getting the Nagasar, and Liquid let it through. It seems like they have a plan blitz. Is it going to be strong enough to deal with it?
Yeah, it's going to be a long best of 5. You have a lot of games to play with. You might as well see if you can play it early on. Secret almost looked like they cracked the code. I think Liquid take a look at that game and say, it's not unbeatable. Let's see what happens when we give it to them. it's less about professional arrogance and more about what can we test in this best of 5.
So talk to me about the things that they have picked up against him. We see obviously the Treant, the Abaddon, these sort of very defensive heroes, these heroes that can provide backup to Miracle, SF, allow him to go ham. How do these heroes sort of work around this sleep setup potential that we've seen Newbee be so potent with in previous series?
I think you just set it up so that nobody dies is the main thing, and also so that you have enough crowd control to turn the fights. They have very defensive heroes. They've got 3 heroes that you could consider defensive, 1 very mobile hero in the Lycan. So I feel like they're going to have a fairly successful laning phase as a result of this. But at the same time, OD does do very well against the Shadow Fiend. He's going to be nice against a lot of these other heroes as well. He's going to chew through that as Kaka makes his way forward.
They're going to try and take it. He won't get it. Miracle will be able to claim the bounty ring. It's on to GH, but Newbee not looking to follow up, just trying to see if they can get a chance of grabbing that rune. But Miracle takes 2. Meanwhile, on the other half of the map, SCCC will also get 2 bounty runes as well. So both mids off to an even start.
This almost looks like an EG draft from the side of Liquid. They've got the Lycan dual offlane. They've got something in the form of a flash farmer for what would normally be Arteezy, and taking a play out of their page out of their playbook. Mind Control playing the Abaddon, going to be up against the Tidehunter.
How does that matchup sort of go in the 1v1 up in this top lane? Is it favorable to each of the side?
I'd imagine that the Tidehunter just free farms. I can't foresee either of these guys dying unless somebody messes up horribly. Not a lot of offensive toolkits on either side, as early on Miracle copying a little bit of damage, but GH trying to help out as much as he can.
Yeah, interesting move as well from the... They did start with Kuro in the mid lane, but now opting to move him down to bottom, swapping sort of positions that GH and Kuro are in. So Kuro can now look to try and help out Matumba in this bottom lane, make sure that he gets the farm.
Yeah, this high HP regen Lycan doesn't care too much about the harass. As in mid.
They do get the Shard Blow, but GH has to be careful. Thunderstrike bringing him down there. Miracle's trying to man up for this kill here, but him and GH both incredibly low. They put the Fairy Fire to keep himself low. Turns with the ring. Miracle! Can he get it? He can! Miracle gets first blood. GH gets the second kill. GH will pay with his life, but Miracle manning up. I mean, that is textbook Miracle play through and through. This man knows the limits of the hero, and he'll push it even further and get away with it every time, Blitz.
That was unbelievable. SCCC did not expect that kind of turnaround. They managed to nab both the kills from that. I mean, the synergy very apparent in GH and Miracle as both pick up their respective kills, and a very good start for Team Liquid. But at the same time, CS-wise, Gyrocopter does lead the field. Tidehunter's doing fine.
Matumba, as you say, still getting a good amount of CS though down in that bottom lane. Not too fussed about the harassment, especially when just left in the 1v1. With Newbee support sort of moving around. Kaka did head over to the mid lane. Looks like they're trying to decide the best way of looking to continue to secure that lane for SCCC and make sure that they don't make the same mistakes again, giving up kills to the dual lane that Liquid had there. The bottom lane does have the missile coming in, but he'll be fine. Kuro's back by his side to make sure that Newbee don't chase down for more.
Yeah, he's got boots.
Look at this mid. GH. He's got the Invis rune.
Yeah, he's trying to bait out the Astral onto Miracle.
Could look for a very good setup here. SCCC's gone very far up. He did not expect the Invis rune touch to be there. There'll be an Astral to hold back Miracle. GH is going to try and chase down, and in fact, it's going to keep SCC alive. No! The raise! Miracle gets it! SCCC! A bit of a mistake there as he decides to try and come back in. That long-range raise was always going to be there for Miracle.
Yeah, now it feels like he's getting a little bit flustered here. Not the type of mistake that we see from him often, Owen.
And I believe he did pop a salve as well, just been on the way down as the Tusk got the last hit in onto him. So that's sort of knocking him back as well in the net worth department in this early stage.
Kaka starting to get low. Here's the second raise. 22 HP he'll walk away with. And at bottom lane, Kuro just sitting here, securing this Lycan's farm. They're going to make a move on to Faith. He's starting to get a little bit low.
Body blocks as well with the wolves, making sure that it's impossible for Faith to get away. Smart resummon as well, just in case he was able to get around, so Matumba could keep maintaining that control on the Disruptor.
Yeah, and in mid lane right now, Miracle with 20 souls already. Very nice lead from him.
And that CS difference is only going to get bigger and bigger. 16 for 7 against the 10 for 2. SCCC certainly needs help if Newbee don't want to end up effectively sacking this lane, and he's going to get it. TP's coming through. Newbee coming towards the mid lane with both supports, Kaka and Faith. It is night time, and they want to try and utilize this to get a jump on Miracle. He's getting close. They've got the Astral set at Miracle.
Where's the
Not
TPs?
expecting that. He doesn't have any TP backup for now. Now it's coming through. He's going to try and TP out, but he's not going to make it. There's a point in the net. They hold him down. Newbee will be able to claim the life of Miracle. Same time up top, KP chasing down Mind Control. Mind Control's got the shield. KP with nothing else left in the tank to throw out. Still yet, of course, to have a point in the gush. But that was a big kill for Newbee. They had to do that. They had to somehow shut down this SF that had started off with 2-0-1, being involved in 3 kills in 4 minutes.
Yeah, and normally we see GH there, but wasn't quite there in time as Mugi lays down to the rocket barrage. Kaka, they're both here.
And it draws GH back a bit with the trap from the kinetic field. GH is held in place. Liquid trying to help him out, getting him out of there. The Thunderstrike's going to take GH down low. They'll hold him down with the root, and Newbee will claim the life of GH. Also turning back towards Kuroki, he potentially in trouble as well. The kinetic field traps him up. They've got the dust, they surround him. No way he gets out of this. A double kill for Mugi. Big pickups for Newbee in that safe lane.
Yeah, and it's the support duo that's doing so well for them right now. They go bottom, get 2 kills. They go mid, they kill the Shadow Fiend. This is the kind of response that they needed to keep up in this game. It's the early game pressure of Liquid that seems to collapse on the teams, but Newbee matching them step for step right now. As GH, Ward is just gonna fade as Triple C has that single level of Astral. They're trying to make this move on him. Here comes the imprisonment.
One Razor's already hit, but the shards will end up actually not helping Liquid. They push SCCC back a bit. He's gonna be fine, and now Newbee, they're looking to turn. They have to get the Thunderstrike onto Miracle. They won't be able to bring him back with a glimpse. Just level 1, of course, at this stage, so not quite the range to catch him, but they do manage to keep SCCC alive. Just a little bit off the mark with those shards.
Yeah. Now he's doing okay. He's trying to catch up a little bit, but the Shadow Fiend still at a heavy advantage as Kuro at bottom lane decides to go for the rune.
He wants the rune and he gets it, but he's going to pay with his life by the looks of it. The rune's down. No way to go invis under that. He'll fall. Another kill for Mugi. Same time, GH this time will get a good shot.
There are the raises.
Setting up for the raises. SCCC positive 1 charges. It's not enough to save him. Miracle still claims the kill.
Now back and forth we go. Kills being exchanged all around the map right now. No clear favorite yet. The gold lead is for Liquid, but it's barely anything to speak about. As up at top, KP does have his level 6, opted not to go for the Ravage early on.
I mean, looking at this lane, it's pretty much as you said. You know, KP absolutely getting the free farm. 39 for 1. Straw Mind Control still getting a bit out of the lane, but KP just getting that little bit more in this 1v1. Neither in danger of going down, though.
It's just the Tide versus any sort of melee matchup. And Tidehunter doesn't really feel your death, as KP really wants to use the Shrine, is going to. Nobody on his team low enough for him to share that. And at bottom lane, Mugi, still the man of the match right now, has the most farm. Crow down here, getting solo XP as Matama Man has rotated to the jungle to try to give his support some time to breathe.
CS in the middle lane, SCCC still very much behind. 23-9 against the 30 for 13. Miracle, level 6. And in the experience department as well, and shoving the lane forward. Does have to be careful, because Faith in the neighborhood, along with Kaka, both supports sitting behind SCCC, just in case Liquid go for another sort of aggressive play with GH. But GH at the moment, actually moving down towards bottom to back up Kuro and Matuma Man. They have got that level 6 shapeshift ready to run in if it needs be, and here we go. Snowball to lead in, GH has the trap. Mugi trying to turn with the rocket barrage. In fact, he's doing a lot of damage. Yeah, Matuma can't quite get in for the damage. Now they can. But Mugi, he's backing off. The creep will chase down. He's doing his best to juke this off, and he's done it. Mugi, can he juke this off? Matuma Man still hunting, and he'll find it with the blast for the Satellite Tormentor. He will finally claim the kill. Bit unfortunate for Newbee that they couldn't have any TP backup come through, but it looks like Kaka didn't have one, and they just didn't want to try and take that fight, that, you know, with 3 heroes from Liquid diving them as such.
Yeah, GH is starting to get a little bit low. Miracle makes his way forward, but does get glimpsed back almost immediately.
Kuro with the setup onto Kaka. He has got the mirror image. Kinetic field's down, but they'll snowball their way out of it, continuing to chase down Kaka. Faith trying his best to keep them off with the Thunderstrike on GH. Another Shards comes down. Kaka's trapped up, and they'll get the kill. Liquid taking down the Naga Siren. And Mugi just holding on for dear life behind that tower, not wanting to show himself straight away.
Up at top, Mind Control.
See what they can do here. Mind Control already being forced to put that borrowed time. It's on cooldown for 50 seconds, but KP, little low mana, can't quite go in, and Mind Control's out of there. Bottom lane, cooldown set up onto Matuma Man. He's brought in Kaka as well. Matuma in a lot of trouble. A homing missile flies through, and he pushes too long, gets punished for it. Newbee take down the Lycan.
Barely misses on the dust as Kuro went upwards. He's going to pick up his level 5 from that, but not too happy about this as GH waiting for somebody to show up mid. He gets pinged out, he's spotted. Here comes a snowball.
He's going to try and lead in. Miracle doesn't really want to come this deep, especially with backup from Newbee inbound. GH getting glimpsed back, and he'll pay for this one. Tried to set up a play, but sets it up a little too deep. As Newbee more than easily punish him for that.
And right now, it doesn't feel like either team willing to give up on this type of aggression when oftentimes we see somebody crack. Yesterday we saw EG could not keep up with the pace at all, but Newbee well prepared in this matchup. And up at top, KP.
And these movements as well, sort of mind control now. He's down on the bottom lane, and he's running at them. He's looking straight towards Faith, trying to chase him down. He has got 4 points, of course, in the passive with that slow and attack speed boost. He'll get it. That's going to be one down. Has got the borrowed time. Marcel holds him back for now, but GH ready to roll in. Set up for more. They have got the cooldown. Moogie trying his best to turn. The Euphonic Shield procs is bringing Moogie down low.
Here comes
Mind
Invis
control
right
to split it
now.
up. KP's coming with a TP. Gush to slow down mind control. He's trying to chase.
Oh, he
Ice
barely
Shards out,
misses.
blocking KP, making it hard to chase him down. But SCCC is there with the wraparound and will allow them to get that kill onto mind control.
Barely missed on that raise at bottom. It is going to create some space up at top for Matama Man to try to do some damage to this tower, but Newbee very aware of this. Faith already in position. Matama Man, though, has that ulti. You've got to be careful. This Lycan does eat support heroes.
Absolutely. I mean, even with the glimpse, with the move speed that he has, he can definitely chase it down a second time. A little less so with KP around. KP, of course, still with that Ravage ready to blow. Makes it a lot harder for Liquid to dive in these sort of situations when the tide is there.
Doesn't want to give up on this tower, though.
He
has
really
his
wants
ulti.
it. He's popping the shapeshift, but he will back off. He's sort of zigging in and out, and he'll come back in. Does manage to get it with the team. They won't get the deny. Same time down bottom, Kaka and Moogie moving in onto GH. They will take down the Tusk. Kuro, and he could be in trouble as well, in fact, with the root down upon him. This is going to be 2 kills for Newbee. Double kill for Moogie, as he is going ham on that bottom lane.
And up at top, SCCC has made his rotation, but no stuns available for them as both cores just farming together. Newbie, unfortunately for them, they're only really killing the supports on the side of Liquid, but I think they're okay with that. They're starting to catch up on their OD little by little, barely behind the Abaddon now. And their Tidehunter still has quite a bit of farm, and a lot of this difference comes from that tower that they were able to take.
KP, very strong level as well, level 9 Tide. Lane, G getting chased down, tries to put the drums to help him get out of here. Matuma Man doesn't yet have the shapeshift, will not have the movement speed to chase it down, and now they could be in trouble. KP moving into position, doesn't need to blow the Ravage as of yet, because with a quick route from Kaka, they'll catch out GH.
Didn't have to use either ult for that. You saw that Kaka thought about it, but understands that he can hold on to it right now, and they are very strong at this point, Newbee. They've got all their ults available, and this is what's making Liquid a little bit hesitant to fight into them. This mid lane, though, this is going to be the next target for Newbee to defend. Not something that they want to give up on. We saw how difficult it was for EG to play without their mid tower early on, and Newbee adjusting to that.
Now Faith, well, he's being chased here by this level 9 mind control Abaddon. He won't continue, especially as Moogie turns up, but he might not have the option to as he gets dragged back. Does still have the borrowed time. We'll see if they can fight through it. Kaka there as well for the control.
They want to pop that ulti.
Let's see if they can do it twice. With that stun connecting, it's going to hold him in place for the duration. They have the cooldown flying through. They'll take mind control down for sure. Does try for a cheeky deny, but with the 1 point in the coil, it's very hard to do with that sort of limited damage. So another pickup for Newbee, starting to build themselves ahead, 12-8. So overall, the net worth pretty much bang on even between these two sides. A very close opening to this game 1 of the best of 5 grand finals.
Yeah. Currently, the problem for Liquid is that they don't feel as though they can fight into the ultis, and it's not easy for them to burst anybody on the side of Newbee.
Or GH. They're trying to go for the dodge there with the snowball, but they still have the glimpse ready. Dragging him back, taking down another.
Getting low.
At the same time, yeah, Matuma Man, he's looking towards KP. KP still has the Ravage, pops it out, holds 3 of them back, and SCCC with a TP in will force Liquid to back up. So Ravage expended, but it keeps KP alive, and it is stopping Liquid from being able to get a kill now for quite some time, as the pace has slowed down for them, but still the farm is looking very good. Miracle's top of the board, he has his drums complete. In top lane, they may just be able to set up onto Mugi's. The majority of Newbee's side has backed up Mugi a little out on his own. Have they got the control of Miracle? They have. A great glimpse from Faith, pulling Miracle back to make sure that he can't chase down Mugi's Jara.
And the problem is, GH, very unfamiliar for me anyways, he's only level 5 at 14 minutes, still doesn't have his ult. Compare that to the 5 position Disruptor who's level 7. He's not able to have the sort of impact that we normally see him have, and that just further highlights the importance of the 4 position, as Kaka will net up Mind Control, who just died.
They're going to try for it here. He does have that borrowed time, pops it straight away to remove that stun, and looks to turn around with some harassment. They have indeed, dragging him closer to the 4 of them. KP trying to block him off. Miracle is there, looks to help things out as he has the raises, but SCCC moving in. They'll have to back off as the Requiem was sort of toyed with by Miracle. Newbee, they do have the full 5-man here, but they don't want to get too over-aggressive. Tier 1 tower is still up at the end of the day. Miracle does move himself forward, though, with the gush to set up for the cooldown. Miracle makes a bit of a mistake coming that close. Kuro is in with a static storm immediately from Faith, holding him back for now. GH does manage to roll in onto Mugen with a missed from Mind Control. They claim the Jara in return. Kaka, Riptide, Mind Control falling low. He doesn't have that borrowed time for 20 seconds, so he's down as well. Double kill for SCCC. KP still moving in, giving the vision onto Kuro and GH, but he's falling low. Has to be careful as he's tanking up this tier 1 tower. But SCCC still standing strong. Matuma Man, meanwhile, just looking for the split push. Fortification will come through, as well as a TP down from KP to put an end to it. Liquid still doing their best to hold on to this middle lane. They have the opening onto Kaka, bringing him low. Defensive Astral there from SCCC, toying around with the overgrowth. He is going to be able to get it up, but Kuroki, surely he'll still go down. The Thunderstriking Glimpse taking him back into the hands of Faith, causes him to fall. There's a wraparound from Matuma Man. He has the Necro Units, but the song straight away from Kaka, putting a stop to it all. They have the kinetic field for the control. So Newbee want to go back in. They have the cooldown, but with Miracle and Mind Control returning, Newbee, they'll decide to back off. They're happy with how they've managed to come out on top so far off the back of that fight. They didn't get the tower, but they're continuing to get these kills.
And Liquid showing their hand right there. What they want to do is push aggressively into the side lanes with this Lycan and just constantly heal up their towers so that there's no sort of trade for them. And this is the kind of fights that they need, where Matuma Man harasses out one side, gets as much free farm as he can while his teammates just defend out the tower. And we also see the priority of Kaka with his sleep. There are multiple times he could have used that offensively, but he's always going to opt to use it defensively in a game like this to try to just reset the fights, get his teammates out when the Lycan inevitably comes forward.
KP heading back towards mid. He's level 12 now. That's 2 points in the Ravage. Mind Control playing it very safe. But as you say, it is this split push play from Liquid that can certainly be the kryptonite to Newbee's group up and go. Bottom lane, Kaka and SCCC will react to this split play though. They head down along with Faith. They've managed to trap up Matuma Man, and they will punish. Same time mid lane, homing missile from Mugi onto Mind Control. They're trying to bring down this tower, but the overgrowth's out again from Kuro. Keeping that tower alive. GH and Mind Control looking towards this. Up top, Miracle went for the split push, goes for the TP out. Can they find him in time? They can't. So Miracle will be able to rejoin the forces in mid. Mind Control chasing it down. Miracle pops the jump, stealth and close the gap. Ice Shard's on point. He does have the hood. Is it going to be enough to save him? The Ravage! The Ravage and the slide out. He gets away. Kuro's on the high ground, but he'll be held in place by the static storm of the kinetic field. Faith with the control to take down Kuro. Kaka now looking for more. They look towards Mind Control. 50 seconds before the borrowed time's up again. Miracle pops the Requiem, forcing Newbee to keep their distance. And Newbee will still be happy to take down more if they get an opportunity for a glimpse setup. Liquid trying to keep themselves back. Kaka seeing if he can get in range for the root. It's a homing missile on its way towards GH. It's creating space for Newbee to push in onto this tier 1. Fortification popped by Liquid. Liquid try and take this.
Really want to defend this tower. Tree's going to be up in 5 seconds.
The root. At the same time, Newbee without that Ravage, without that Song, and the Static Storm, big team of fire ultimates that they have been relying on, they will back away and respect Liquid as they come back in to defend that tier 1.
Yeah, and look at Matuma Man. He further shows this. He immediately goes down to this bottom jungle area, waiting for Newbee to reveal themselves, while the rest of his team defends up this mid tower. For Liquid, it's going to be very hard for them to team fight into this, and so they need to fight around these landmarks. And this mid tower, obviously one of the best in the game.
They're doing a fabulous job of keeping it alive. Bottom lane, Mugi. There's a bit of a wall problem. Matuma Man with the micro, holding Mugi down, and that will be a free pickup. for the big bad wolf. But Tumberman takes down one, and maybe they can look for a second. He'll look towards Faith, but Kinetic Field's down. Can't quite chase the Disruptor, with Glimpse still available. If you're pushing GH away. SCCC as well. We saw him at the start, was a little bit behind Miracle. He's catching back up to the other core. Still Miracle shooting ahead at the top of this chart. 8.5k net worth on this Shadow Fiend at 19 minutes in. He's looking very, very scary indeed, and keeping that farm going despite Newbee's consistent pressure on that middle lane.
Yeah, and right now Newbee, in a normal game, if there's not a tree in this game, you've already taken that mid tower and you can start to make aggressive moves into the enemy jungle. But in a game like this, Newbee, they keep throwing heroes at this area, which allows Matama Man to just push out that bottom wave and threaten. And you see the strength of the Lycan against the Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter just dies as soon as he shows himself.
Yeah, this Treant pick certainly proving to be a smart one, and we've seen, you know, I believe the stats say, you know, Newbee normally taking their games before the 40-minute mark or such. It's going to be a lot harder to do so if you have these defensive supports, and well, mind control and this core abandon as well, these heroes that can just keep the game going, make it very hard for you to push into and take sort of objectives off the back of fights, because Newbee have been getting kills, but as you said, they can't get towers.
Yeah, they're getting really frustrated at this because mind control is just sitting there.
Yep.
It's not easy for them to kill him, and then the rest of the squad from Liquid, look at them. They're starting to back him up.
I mean, they're trying their best. With 5 heroes and about 3 ultimates used, they should be able to find him, and they do. But as you say, it almost feels like just pure frustration being shown by Newbee as they throw everything at this mid lane. They desperately want to break it, but I feel like we've been in this sort of position for the last 5 minutes.
Look at bottom lane. Once again, they try to do this with 2 heroes mid, but they also realize that they're torn between this bottom lane, Matama Man doing the correct move every single time, and Newbee, it's very hard for them to punish this. Liquid are just running them ragged around the map, and now Matama Man is signaling forward, saying somebody has to push out top. Line drawn by GH. Now they're going to go for the smoke, and this might even be a Roshan attempt by them.
Let's see what the call is. GH will lead the charge.
Yeah, they might have spotted this Gyrocopter with this ward, and everybody from Newbee right now still in this mid lane.
They are coming across though as well, Newbee.
Yeah, they might have read, thinking to themselves, maybe they might be trying to sneak a Roshan. Nobody's at this bottom area.
The Rangers get drawn by Mugia. They are aware of what's going on. Well, I say that, they sent the courier in. That'll be an easy courier kill. I mean, Newbee say, right, they went for the courier, space is made, let's go down mid, let's try again. We'll see if Liquid can react in time, and for what feels like sort of the 4th, 5th time now. Looks like this time Newbee getting away with a decent amount of damage onto this tier 1 tower. Overgrowth there from Kuro, though, making it hard. And look at this wraparound. Miracle, actually with the BKB ready to go. Sultan's out, but with the BKB already out, Miracle, he's forcing them away. Newbee, they have to just retreat with this.
Oh, those shards!
The shards, they're perfect. They trap up Kaka, but the full stuff from SCCC gets him back up to the high ground. They're trying their best to turn. The cooldown's out. It's only connected onto mind control, but he has to borrow time through. They've lost Kaka on Newbee. Matuma Man trying to move over the sand. These eclipse. SCCC doing huge
There's no Ravage.
The Ravage is there. Newbee, they've baited Liquid into a beautiful team fight for themselves. They've taken down 4. They look towards Miracle. Newbee, they've finally broken this headlock that Liquid have kept them in for the last 5 minutes. They wipe them. They'll be rewarded with this tier 1 tower at least. What a fight for Newbee.
KP was so incredibly patient with that ult, held it the entire time, baited through, understood he needed to wait on some key spells, he needed the borrowed time to go off, the BKB to wear off on that Shadow Fiend. It looked like for a second he was going to wait a little bit too long, but rides the edge perfectly. Liquid hard committed for that fight. They get the 5-man team fight. They finally take that mid tower. They're going to be incredibly happy with that sequence of events. 10-second BKB was popped on the side of SF at the same time. They really want to take this tower. They understand if they don't, the tree heal just comes onto it and all that damage is going to be nullified, but they're going to have to retreat, reset things a little bit.
I mean, if you hope to take a fight against this Team Liquid, you have to do it perfectly, and I don't think there's anything Newbee could have done any better there, as you say. Everything used at the correct time, the timings were perfect, no panic whatsoever from Newbee, keeping their composure and taking an incredible fight. Liquid now.
They know there's no Ravage. There's no big abilities on the side of Newbee. If they could sneak this, they could reset the game a little bit.
They've got the cooldown coming in, the standing storm as well. It's trapped Matuma in mind control. Snowball comes in, GH trying to buy some time for Matuma, but GH is falling low. The Arcane Knowledge bringing him down. They've got the Sun Crest one. He's going to be able to keep alive with the evasion. Mind control on Matuma Man trying to turn things around. He has the Shade Shift trapped up again by the kinetic field. Defensive Astral onto Faith, but Matuma Man will chase it. Take down the Disruptor. Looking towards KP. The sleep is there. Kaka, what do they want to do? They want to disengage by looks of it. Newbee keeping to the high ground. Charge is going to come up on, I believe that does block the path off for SCCC if they want to retreat, but SCCC, he's trying to man up. He's looking towards Matuma. Snowball from GH, closing the gap onto Mugi. Force up to the high ground from SCCC, turning towards Kuro. And they will keep chasing him. Mugi's trapped up by these ice shards in the river. He's going back into the rocket barrage and the flat cannon. He may be able to bring GH, he does, but he's going to surely pay with his life. Raze is there for Miracle. They've taken down to a return. SCCC trying to find Kuro, but the overgrowth's out once more. And KP, Kaka and SCCC just have to retreat, and with that play, Liquid can move themselves back into the pit and attempt for the Roshan. Sanity's Eclipse is back up fairly shortly.
He's got 56
Ravage
installed, and he
there.
wants this.
KP wants to go for the big play.
locking in.
He's going in, there's the Ravage.
He's gonna
they
drop
start
it.
to rack up the intel. It's going to be a big Sanities from SCCC. It's the Ultra Kill, SCCC. You know this man, he wants his revenge after TI Finals, and with play like this, Newbee may just get it. What a way to kick off this game one, 25 minutes in. Newbee take Roshan for themselves. SCCC claims the Aegis. They are playing absolutely perfectly, Newbee. Snowball from GH will be there to dodge out the glimpse, but SCCC, he has the setup with the Astral. Kaka comes round, looking for the root. The damage from this man on the OD is absolutely insane. 56 intelligence stolen. You cannot come near him.
And SCCC last year was in the finals, game one, saying, I will not be denied this opportunity. He had 70 in when he ran in there. The double ults, just enough for them. The cooldowns were just there. And Liquid almost got that Roshan, could have just turned the game for them, but instead it's another team wipe for Newbee, as now they lead the game 7K up. They're gonna take another tier 1 tower. Those towers that eluded them this entire time, now they're starting to fall in. Liquid hard pressed to take these engagements. Whenever this Ravage is up, KP, he's been so patient with his usage on all of them. Gonna get very tanky now, almost has that Shiva's guard completed. And Liquid already lack damage. We already talked about their double support combo. They're not really gonna do much except play defensively. But right now, the Shadow Fiend just a little bit underfarmed. Yeah. Same with the Lycan.
And the build that sort of Miracle's being forced into as well. It's incredibly defensive to sort of go. It's not going to solve the damage issues, having to go BKB and Manta style on this SF.
Yeah, and it's not easy for them to close a distance on this OD. The amount of control that they have is a little bit lacking.
Jungle will find themselves Disruptor, Faith. Just drop the static in return.
But Kaka's coming here. He's got the ult too. Miracle in a stuck position right now.
Yeah, they're looking for the return play. Pops the BKB, goes for the Requiem, the defensive Astral, protecting Kaka from it. Liquid still wanting to take this fight. They come in, they look towards Kaka, but there's the song, holding the bag. KP, no Ravage for 12 seconds though, but there is a cooldown. Comes straight in, onto Miracle. Miracle looking for Mugi, but the Solar Crest for the teammates keeps him a bit of a life for a little bit, but he still falls. They'll get the second kill, taking down the Gyro. Matuma Man looking for the escape with the TP out, but he's not going to make it. SCCC's there in time with the Astral, and Matuma Man, he's trying to run, he's trying to hide, but SCCC slides in with a Hurricane Pike to find the finisher. They do manage to hit back very hard there, Newbee. They may have lost Mugi, but SCCC, he's just getting kill after kill after kill. He's top of the net worth. They're looking towards Mind Control. Mind Control does have borrowed time, so he should be fine.
Gonna run into the courier.
See what they can do. KP will stop the chase. Mid lane SCCC. Oh, Kuroki actually revealing himself in that. Yeah, all right. There we go, that's for TI, he says. SCCC just drops the hammer. And that's Kuro down. And with the creeps pushing in, Newbee should have a good shot at taking this tier 2 tower. No pesky overgrowth to worry about now at all. SCCC continuing to just maintain this incredibly high level of intellect. 64 stolen at the moment. This man hitting like an absolute truck on this OD.
Might have been an overreaction to go for that ulti onto the tree, but a lot of repressed anger in that one. As they're gonna briefly show mid, but without their main tower hitter in Mugi there, not really gonna follow up. I do like how Liquid is atomizing though. going for the Solar Crest and the Halberd, it's very nice against the OD, who doesn't naturally build items like the MKB. So the True Strike's almost never going to be there for him, but Matama Man dropping dangerously low.
Look at this damage! Any chance for SCCC to get a couple of hits on anyone at this stage, and they just get ripped to shreds. Level 20 now, so he has that plus 20 strength, so he's starting to tank up a little bit also. They've got to do something about this OD. They just can't allow him to get the chance to right-click their heroes down in this fight. I mean, with their lineup, how do they get on top of SCCC? It's very
really
hard.
difficult. They don't have one of those big team fight ultis either.
I mean, look at this. Miracle comes forward. He's going to get held in place by the Astro. KP does have the Ravage. Watch out for it. He's ready to go. He's looking to pop it. He doesn't even need to, maybe, for Miracle. Miracle held down by the root. He goes for the Red Crew Rever, but he falls. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 down on Liquid for now. Still no Matumba for 10 seconds. The buyback for GH for the static stop for Fame controls them all. It's all over game 1. GG is called. Liquid, they try to solve the Naga problem. This strat that Newbee have, and well, Newbee, they say it's not the Naga you should be worrying about, it's this OD and the way that they can play around with it. The setup and control they have between having this Disruptor and Naga Siren just allowed SCCC to go absolutely ham here.
Yeah, we saw it in the Medusa game, and once again, he absolutely performs for his team. But we should highlight the performance of KP. That Ravage, he held it for so long. A lot of people would have seen the opportunity to get that 5-man Ravage off without thinking about it, but there was a BKB, a borrow time going off. He waited for the maximum amount of time where his team could go for the turnaround, and that Roshan play really cemented things for them.
Absolutely. I mean, that was still at the point of the game where it's very much even. It was caught at a bit of a lock, but as you say, KP being able to break Liquid open and just allow the momentum to continue for Newbee to take this game 1. What a way to start off a series that some may have been worried could potentially have been a 3-0 for Liquid, but if Newbee continued to play like this, it may even go the other way around entirely. This was a very scary startup, and the big question, Blitz, before we head back, are we going to see Naga Siren get let through again?
I'm not sure about that, because, okay, one time you let it through, you have your ideas about it. In a best of 3, it's a little bit scarier, but in a best of 5, you assume you have a lot of games to play with. It's Liquid, they're very confident. They want to see if their ideas are going to pan out, because in future tournaments, you can't just continue to ban this hero. You want to see if this hero is beatable, but unfortunately in game 1, they didn't find out.
Absolutely not. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll find out shortly in game 2 how things get changed up. But for now, we'll pass you back to Red Eye and the panel to break down this incredible performance from Newbee.
Yes, indeed. Fantastic performance by the Chinese team. They have moved themselves ahead, just like they did in the upper bracket in Group A against Liquid the first time round. We all know how that one ended up as well. But can Liquid make the comeback? Plenty to talk about on the panel, back with Nahaz, Fogged, and Cap. Cap, we'll start with you. Great performance by Newbee. Not one that any of you saw coming, or anyone else saw coming for that matter.
I mean, we know Newbee can perform at such a high level when it comes to team fights, but this was absolutely insane. The amount of kiting that they did against Liquid, and they were tough heroes to kite too. It was just insane. And we have to say, like, you don't give away Naga Siren to Newbee. I don't think you do that anymore for the rest of this series, because they're too good at being able to acknowledge when to use it, when to hold it. Same goes with the Ravage.
Yeah, I was going to say the KP Ravage. I think there was a moment around 24, 25 minutes where anyone else would have gone in and just used it because it was obvious, telegraphed. He didn't. He was patiently waiting, and it was almost like Liquid were like, when's it coming? When's it coming? And then the panic, and then the Ravage. Brilliant.
Yeah, we were saying throughout this tournament a bunch too, we're like, man, when Kaka's playing well, Newbee's on fire. But when KP's playing well, this team is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I'm not sure Fogged has any other words.
I mean,
what do you say?
It's just because, I mean, that Ravage into Sanity's, and you see the cooldowns, right? It was like Sanity's had 1 second, you're like, oh no, oh god.
Yeah, and then I think there was the other one, Alan, into the Roche pit as well. You could telegraph it from a mile away. We all saw it coming. It was like one of those, and then you see it hit, and it's just, it's so obvious and yet so brilliantly executed.
I mean, there were at least 3 Ravages in that game that just absolutely blew my mind. The one that they kept, that our casters kept talking about, where he was very patient, held it, the fight in the river, they bait out the Miracle BKB. I thought the 4-staff Ravage was amazing, where he's escaping. It looked like Liquid had them on the run, and that completely turned around the fight. Yeah, this is the fight right here. You notice the BKB of Miracle goes off, and I'm telling you, you know, I was saying this yesterday during the series. You gotta watch those little green dots under the Newbee hero portraits.
It's also the little things about these games too that I love. The force staff
on the high
usage.
ground. Yes.
Both force staffs in this fight were so crucial for Newbee repositioning themselves and getting that high ground advantage. Man.
It's rare that you see a Lycan run out of time in a team fight with his ultimate because it lasts so long, but that's exactly what Newbee were able to accomplish over and over and over again.
Yeah, that was the Roshan relish. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Maybe you can give us more depth on this, but sometimes when you watch Newbee play like this, you see it and you go, yeah, that's kind of obvious. Yeah, that's what they should be doing. And oh, well, yeah, they've done well there, but it's not spectacular, but it's just so well done.
I think it's spectacular as hell.
The peeling away in the fights. You know, you look at Liquid's draft and we're all like, man, they have so much healing. Bad and Tree, they have Tusk save. But you looked at the way that Newbee took the fights and they were just able to peel away, get a net on somebody, walk away, force staff, wait for those cooldowns to keep coming back up throughout the engagements.
Yep.
I guess what I'm saying is they make it look easy.
Yeah, they really
pretty
do.
much, yeah.
I don't know about easy, just really freaking good. We have this tendency, when you take drafters like Kuro and Puppy, we have this tendency to sort of overvalue new ideas. We're looking at this tree pick going, okay, they're going to have this 6 strat where they stack regen, they push. But Newbee just keeps doing the same thing, and they just keep doing it better and better and better with each passing game.
I do want to talk about Liquid, though, in this. I don't think that this was some game that Liquid played flawlessly and Newbee were just somehow better than them. I think
there was
Liquid,
mistakes, weren't there?
Look, there was that mid engagement that was so cool where they were playing with Fairy Fire. It was the SF Tusk versus the OD and the Disruptor, right? And they made that play where GH makes the call. He's going to snowball the support because he has faith that Miracle, he can just read it, right? He's popped his Fairy Fire. He's going to be able to kill the OD here. We're going to get both of these kills. That shows such a high level of insanely good coordination and confidence, and mostly confidence, right? To be able to know that, hey, we've got this. We're actually going to be able to get both. But I would say that same confidence left them into a bit of a downfall when it came to a lot of these team fights, particularly when it came to situations where we see Newbee are 5-manning into that mid lane, and they're attempting to defend with just the SF and the Aban. Sure, Mind Control made a misplay. He Aphotic Shield himself and everything, but I still think that it was still Liquid with so much confidence thinking we can actually outplay this, we can actually play with 2 or 3 heroes against 5 underneath the tower, kite them back, we'll get the TPs in, we'll be able to outplay them. But that was absolutely not the case. Newbee was actually the ones who was outplaying Liquid most of the time.
Indeed. Okay, we're going to get more from all 3 of you after the break. That's where we're headed just a moment. Of course, game 2 to come. Liquid with many things to talk about, presumably in their 10-minute break or so. And a public health warning for everyone here in the Arena of Stars from Sir Action Slacks.
Now, the best part about coming into a LAN are the signing sessions. You get to have your favorite shirt signed by your favorite team. And I have been waiting all day. Where are the teams? Where are the teams? They're not here. Oh, I didn't read the signing schedule, so I don't know when my favorite team is here. And my day is ruined. And everybody's laughing at me, and the water is on the table for nothing. So don't be like me. Read the signing schedule, show up on time, and don't just guess, or your life will be ruined like mine. Thank you very much. Great show, everybody. Great event.
I do. I want to get in there.
Wow.